Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. I'm Cyrus. This is Tuntum Network. If quality content on Pan-African news is what you are looking for, then you are at the right place. Be sure to subscribe. Click on the notification bell as I delve into the interest Togo has shown in joining the AES. Let's dig in, folks. So an independent public opinion survey was conducted in November 2024 in Togo. This survey was restricted to just 1,200 respondents across Togo. The survey's question was this: do the respondents concur or agree that Togo joins the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, yes or no? And the Afrobarometer poll was published in mid-May 2025, ladies and gentlemen. It revealed that 54% of Togolese citizens who participated in the survey support leaving ECOWAS to join AES. Now, this could be unrealistic looking at the sample size of the poll, because Togo is 9.7 million population. So sampling just 1,200 people is super small. In fact, it's just 0.0124% of the total population. But on March of 2025, Togo's Foreign Minister, Robert Dussey, publicly announced on Facebook that Togo was considering joining the AES. In his later post, he hinted that if Parliament, the Togo Parliament, and the President agreed to it, why not? That was his question. And in recent times, I'm talking about March, he doubled down by saying that Togo is considering joining the AES, a strategic decision that could strengthen regional cooperation and offer access to the sea as a member country. Ladies and gentlemen, I honestly wish, and I want to say this quickly for those who are overly excited, I honestly wish this were true, but unfortunately, I don't trust the Togolese president. I cannot at this point say he's good friends with Macron or France, but they have met multiple times in 2024 and in 2023. Togo and France share a consistent strategic alliance built on historical ties and mutual interest in security, economics, diplomacy, which started all the way back in the former president's era, Faure Gnassingbé's father. As a matter of fact, in 1986, after an attempted coup in Lomé, Togo, France quickly deployed troops, which included parachutists, jets, and a whole ship to support President Iyadima's government. They protected the current president's father's regime for 38 years and oversaw the transition of power from the father to the current president. Ladies and gentlemen, I see people making a fuss and a buzz around it on social media, but I'm rather very skeptical at this point. Togo's president could be leveraging on this to get France to commit to doing something for them. Ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, I wish this were true in the sense that the AES is a confederation of 3 landlocked countries. So certainly they would have needed a country close to the sea. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they could use that sea. But I'm very, very skeptical at this point. And having access to the Togo port will be the most ideal situation in the sense that it is a free port and they all speak French. But that would also mean Togo will have to give up on its membership in ECOWAS, ladies and gentlemen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I doubt if Togo will be willing to do at this point. Togo's port already serves all the AES countries, but also serves the rest of other West African countries whose businesses seek lesser import charges. Togo is the transition bridge between Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Nigeria. There is a lot of revenue the Togo government makes from its road taxes within West Africa. Therefore, I doubt Togo will have the courage to disconnect themselves from ECOWAS. You see, those who are overly excited about this news of Togo likely joining the AES, you should be very careful. And because of this, the president of Togo isn't like the other military presidents of the AES. They are totally different people. The Togo president is a politician and only interested in doing whatever it takes to consolidate his presidency till death. Just last year, ladies and gentlemen, in March, he changed the constitution of Togo into a parliamentary system where now he doesn't have to depend on the people's vote to be elected as president of Togo, but on his majority numbers in parliament. That is what he has done. He made this constitutional change after he has served for 20 years already in Togo. Ladies and gentlemen, People must wake up and not get carried away by any blowing wind. The man may only be looking for validation for his presidency on the continent. He and his father has together ruled Togo for 58 years and nothing special is happening there. What does he actually share in common with the leadership of the AES? Just think about it. They mean business, the AES leadership, and have put their lives on the line for what they believe. What about the president of Togo? They are pushing for development like never before in their countries. How about Togo? France is their largest trading partner after China. Does he want to lose that, ladies and gentlemen? Ever since the president of Togo took office in 2025, he has added on the average $350 million to Togo's GDP year on year in the last 20 years. Meanwhile, his net worth is speculated at $13 billion. According to the World Bank's April 2025 macro poverty outlook, Togo's extreme poverty rate, measured at under $2.15 per day in 2024, was 24.8%. So where is all that money in Togo? Ladies and gentlemen, Togo is a major phosphate exporter. Where is the money? He wants to make himself a lifetime president and seeks the validation of Africans. There is one thing we have to note about these politicians, ladies and gentlemen. In as much as they enjoy holding on to power, they even enjoy more when their people are praising and supporting them. That's what many of these presidents lack and are aggressively looking for. They envy seeing how social media is ablaze for these three leadership of AES. They definitely will want to be talked about in that manner. They want the shine, but not the work. The youth of Togo are scattered all over the place, in Ghana and in the Ivory Coast, doing menial jobs to survive. 60 to 65% of Togolese depend on subsistence farming to survive. Approximately 1,794 kilometers of roads in Togo are paved, which makes up to about 15% of their total road network. But a sizable chunk of that road network is all dilapidated. If these presidents truly want the praise of the people and the support of the internet community, they will just have to start taking care of their people. There are going to be African presidents who would like to join the AES, and that will have to come with a lot of scrutiny. They could be coming in as moles for their paymasters. The French government is capable of doing anything possible to know what goes on within the AES, ladies and gentlemen. They need eyes and ears on the ground. And what's the best way to do it, if not by sending their own co-equals, ladies and gentlemen? The circumstances of the AES is completely unique. And if left to me alone, ladies and gentlemen, they should consolidate their leadership for the next 5 years before adding anyone to their block. They need to demonstrate what true leadership actually means and continue to show what other Africans are missing in their government. They shouldn't be in a hurry to bring others on until a significant change is realized in their countries. The last mistake we want to make is to put ourselves in a position to be betrayed once again. When they try you from within and don't succeed, they will come from outside. Remember, the moment Togo joins the AES and makes their port accessible to them, all manner of people and things could be moved in a matter of days. I strongly feel it's better this way for the AES to help them remain vigilant on their neighbors than to be naive, ladies and gentlemen. They must be vigilant on Ghana, they must be vigilant on Togo, Benin, Nigeria, and the Ivory Coast. This is my personal lesson about friends, and I want to share that with you. We may be friends, but when the price is right, these same friends may give you away, ladies and gentlemen. As it is now, Ghana is in bed with the US government. Nigeria is hand in hand with Macron. Togo is a long-time friend of France, and the Ivory Coast is an extension of France in Africa. You can never let your guard down at this point. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, there is no confirmation of deliberations in the Parliament of Togo concerning joining the AES. And there is also no official statement by the membership or the members, the leadership of the AES on the accession of Togo. It is all speculations and suggestions at this moment. And we'll bring you up to speed should the circumstances change, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your audience once again, and be sure to subscribe if today is your first time, and hope to see you in the next one. Until then, God bless you, and it's bye-bye for now.